Hey, what's up? I just had a thought and I wanted to do a video about it. It's been a while since I've done any videos or podcasts, and something came up today. I just happened to see a little short video of actually a scene in a sitcom from a long time ago. It was a scene from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air where the Fresh Prince and Carlton were trying to get into a fraternity, and in the end they accepted Will Smith, the Fresh Prince. They accepted him, but they didn't want Carlton. And basically they were saying Carlton wasn't black enough. And it just, Carlton's response was, he's fighting the same struggles as everybody else. And basically for them to turn him down was making them the sellout. And it just got me thinking, this is something that I've heard before, and I think the first time I heard it was a response like this anyway, not necessarily the comments, but the response. A long time ago, Queen Latifah, supposedly, Queen Latifah is one of those, used to be a rap artist, a female rap artist, and, she's come a long way. She comes out in movies now. She had her own talk show. I don't know if she still has it. I don't keep up with that, but I know when she had gotten her talk show, there was some people out there talking bad about her, saying that she was a sellout for having this daytime talk show. And I remember her making a statement, and what she had ended up saying was, she said, listen, where I come from, this is opportunity, and if I didn't take this opportunity, then I'd be a sellout. And that sunk in because there's people out there growing up in the hood right now that are being told that success isn't for them. The only way they're going to find success is selling drugs or doing dirt or whatever else. And that's just not true, man. That's just some straight up crazy propaganda that's being fed to young people. And I'll never forget, I was told when I was a kid, and it sounded cool, man. It was the coolest thing I ever heard. But I remember, and I don't know where it came from. I'm sure that he heard it somewhere else. But somebody very, very close to me, very close to me, said, the white man left us the underground, and that's where I dance. And that was like listening to the coolest stuff ever. This was somebody I looked up to. And basically what he was saying was, society has left us nothing. So therefore we have to do what we have to do to survive. And that's what we were doing in the hood. We were surviving. And when I grew up and started thinking differently and started just analyzing my life and my past, I realized that was straight garbage. Garbage. I don't care how cool it sounded when I was a kid. That was garbage, man. Nobody was taking anything from me. Nobody was holding me back. It was me and my mentality. Is there somebody out there in your hood? Is there somebody out there, maybe somebody close to you, telling you that you're not going to succeed because it wasn't meant for us? A little kid comes out of the womb, and by the time he's 5 years old, he's being told that nobody ever gets out of these circumstances. We're poor, and start instilling this poor mentality into a child. This child ends up growing with the poor mentality. So guess what's going to happen to this child? Unless he finds a way to be fed something other than that, that's what he's going to be fed. And that's probably what's going to happen to this kid. He's going to believe that he's poor and that he doesn't have opportunity. And it's the craziest thing to me, because we do that to each other, man. And I know we were doing it to each other as kids in the hood. We were doing that to each other. But it was something that was being regurgitated, man. It wasn't original thought. The things that I was telling kids, man, it wasn't original thought. It was stuff that, I might have added my own cool little spin to it, but it wasn't original thought. It was stuff that I was hearing, we're going to make it. We're going to make it doing this. We're going to make it selling drugs. We're going to make it, doing gangster stuff, man. And nobody ever tells you the whole truth and nothing but the truth. They don't tell you that the end of that road is death or prison. They don't tell you that. They don't tell you, hey, listen, man, you follow me for a couple years, and if you're real serious about it, within a couple years, you might be dead. If you don't end up dying within a couple years, you're gonna end up in prison. They don't tell you that part. That's not the selling point. The selling point is, look at this nice car I drive. Look at my wallet's fat. Living in mama's house, your wallet's fat. So it's just one of those things, man, that you have to really look at and see what is being fed to these kids, man, and who's feeding it to them. Who's telling the kids the truth, man? Because the reality is, we all have the same obstacles in life. At the same time, we all have the same opportunities in life. We can create our own path. I watched a video earlier of UFC fighter Conor McGregor. I'm not a big fan. He talks crazy, but the one thing that I learned about him early in watching him is how he thinks. This guy believes in the things he says, which manifests them into reality. And he talks about it all the time. And this particular video was talking about him and how he believes in the law of attraction. Whether you're a religious person or whether you're a scientific person, the more you believe something, the more it becomes a reality. And that's what he was talking about. And I noticed that about him early in his career by listening to him talk and listening to the things he said. And that's where your success is going to come from. Do you believe in you? Do you believe in yourself? Do you believe in your goals? We had a conversation after training last night with one of the guys, and I asked him, what are your goals? And he gave me a an example of what his goals are. And it wasn't intentional, but it was like, okay, well, how are you going to get there if you keep doing X? If X is your stumbling block, are you really serious about your goal? If you have goals, but yet you're listening to this fool in the neighborhood talking about you ain't never going to make it, how are you going to make it if you're listening to somebody who's telling you you're not going to make it? You need to cut people off that are telling you that you're not going to make it. You need to cut people off that are telling you that the world is holding you back, because it's not. You know what I mean? So, don't listen to that knucklehead stuff, man, in the hood where these guys are coming around talking about, man, the only opportunity we got is this, people breathing down our back. We can't do what we want to do because, they don't want us to succeed. Get away from that person, man. Find your own way in life. Make your own path and find your success. Demand success from yourself and watch what happens. Demand success from yourself and watch what happens. But it's just something that I was thinking about, man, because there's too much negativity in this world where people are bringing each other down, and a lot of times it's unknowingly that they're bringing each other down. But you can make it. I don't care where you come from. I don't care what your background is. One of the things that I tell these kids is I had every excuse in the world to fail. But when I finally grew up, I realized that I could use every one of those things as a reason to succeed. My dad died when I was a kid. We were poor. We grew up in the hood, blah, blah, blah. I used every one of those excuses. It justified my failure. Until I started thinking in a different way, wait a minute. Those could all be reasons for me to succeed and overcome. Those could all be reasons. So look for reasons to succeed, not excuses to fail. Thanks, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Just let me know.